In the book Money Models, Alex Hormozi reveals the biggest shift in which we build offers. And it has nothing to do with bonuses or value stacks or scarcity. It's called offer gamification, and it completely rewires how your customers buy. Hormozi's new book starts with a warning. If your offer feels like work, your customers disappear. But if it feels like a game, they chase you. In this video, I will show you what he says in chapter 1 about offers that could literally pull people through the buying process without persuasion, pressure, or tactics. That's the first thing Hormozi teaches in Money Models and is wild. Before we get into it, I'd like to introduce myself. Hello, my name is Serena. I am a business growth strategist, and on this channel, we usually talk about things regarding value creation for your business and partial or total exit. I'm making this video because the algorithm seems to like me talking about Hormozi. I've avoided this for several months now, but here we go. I want to start by saying that I didn't want to read this thing because there was a lot of... Wait, let me get rid of it. So... I don't know what to say about this. I didn't want to read Money Models because there was a lot of hype around it. And I've witnessed the live launch, I've witnessed the event, and there were some parts of it that felt a little disingenuous. I made a video about this, which is, I think, my best performing video to date, because this channel is doing very bad. And everybody was so hyped about the launch, but at the same time, there was nothing to be hyped about. Like, he was pulling the stuff that he teaches you in the books on you, like a decoy offer and change of rhythm. He takes his cap off and stuff. There were some moments in which he was asking how many people are on the live, and somebody said a number that was way higher than when I was seeing people from the live, but I don't know, maybe they were counting some other live as well. I was on YouTube live, and we were at 90,000 people, and the lady said 200,000 people or something. I don't know, something insane. And it felt a little disingenuous, and so it was off-putting. Like, every time I would see that green cover, like, first of all, ugh, what a disgusting green cover. The name Money Models as well, I don't like. I browsed through it a little bit and I noticed that there are, you know, some really old business strategies that have been here since the beginning of time. And I didn't pursue to read it, but because of the algorithm, I kind of felt forced to. That was the fire alarm. Anyway, I would like to preface this video saying that I am an avid fan of both of them. I love what they built through acquisition.com. Like, I love their strategy for private equity. I love their story and the hurdles they had to overcome. But I think that at one point you get so... I think being too rich gets you a little out of touch, because what I respected a lot about Hormozi was the fact that he was a very good writer. Like, he got a writing scholarship at one point before starting to work at the gym. And he rewrote the first 2 books like 10 times before publishing, because he was thinking, how could I convey this information even more directly, even more clear, and using less words? And you can feel that when you read it. You can just read it so easily, and he's so direct. This book, however, I do not think it has been written 10 times, and I think the reason behind this is because he didn't really have time to rewrite it 10 times, because he's too busy making content all the time, and it becomes like a second nature. And I think that's one of the biggest liabilities in the business space, because business people, they understand the leverage that their personal brand can have in their business. And at one point they get too focused on the content and not as much as the business itself. Like, it's not innovative anymore. And this is the case with this book as well. I have some screenshots from the book. You will see exactly what I mean. And like I said, this episode is about chapter 1, in which he talks about offer gamification. I can describe it. Let's just get into it. At the very beginning, I think it's page 20 or 30 or something, he says, make enough profit to cover your costs in 30 days or less. I like to cover my costs with getting a customer within 30 days. Main reason, any business can get interest-free money for 30 days in the form of a credit card. If you clear your balance before the end of the month, it works just like normal money. So you can use credit to get a customer, pay it back, and then use it again to get the next customer. And if you can pay it off before the 30 days, you can do it again. Rinse and repeat. Yes, you have 30 days to acquire a new customer. Why do you need a credit card? If you're so certain that you can acquire a new customer, just get the fucking customer. Like, call him up, WhatsApp him, I don't know, tell him about him, offer him something. Otherwise, it's a 22% interest rate gamble. And I didn't like the way that he phrased it at the very beginning. Make enough profit to cover your costs in 30 days or less. I'd like to remind you that debt is not a cost. Debt is negative value. It's not OPEX. I do not encourage people to do this. When your business is mature enough and you kind of know how much it costs for you via ads to get a customer, and you have that LTV on CAC ratio very well iterated on, yeah, you can do that for sure. But doing it now, like at the beginning of your business, like what this is, I understand this book is not for beginners, but I don't think beginners need to be told that they can use a credit card, that non-beginners I don't think that people who aren't beginners need to be told that they need a credit card. Wow, my God. And especially nowadays, like, ads have been really weird because of the AI updates and stuff, and it's becoming more and more expensive to buy customers using ads. Like, he's not directly referring to ads, but like he's referring to like all the marketing. But what else can you do for marketing? Just go and talk to these people and tell them that you can help them with something. Don't use your credit card for your first ads. Come on. Debt is not a cost. Oh, okay. Let's go below. Another thing, here's a little sample of the writing, like I mentioned. If you look at great businesses, you'll see different versions of these offers as core components of their money-making engine. You'll see 1, 2 multiples all fall together. You can combine them however you want. But when I look at my most profitable businesses, I use all 4, and here's why. So, if you don't have an offer for getting customers, you won't get as many. But let's say you do. If you only have that one thing to offer, you won't make nearly as much money as you could. So if you have something to offer next, an upsell, you'll finally get some cash. But you still won't make as much as you could because lots of people will still say no. So we turn those no's into yeses with downsells. And that works fine. But it would be even better if you had that extra cash guaranteed to come month after month. So you make a continuity offer to top it off. That's how I like to do it. So first of all, this writing is absolutely terrible. I'm sorry, but it is. It is. We're on page 38 in, and like nobody proofread this. Second of all, it's this signal. That's how I like to do it. Well, he likes to do these things because he does leverage buyouts. At this point, I think everybody knows that Hormozi's main business is private equity. He has a private equity entity in the form of acquisition.com that buys businesses and makes them more profitable and maybe sells them off or partially, totally, or uses them to get debt from banks. And while you want to have extra cash guaranteed to come month after month, is for your financial statements in order to go to the bank and ensure the fact that if they give you a loan for a buyout, you will have the money to pay the loan back month after month. But I don't like this italic guaranteed. How many times have you failed to make a payment on something if you have something financed? I don't know. What he's describing is useful if you aim to do something called a leveraged buyout. Let's talk about a leveraged buyout. A leveraged buyout is when someone buys a company mostly by using borrowed money, not their own. The simple Hormozi explanation is you want to buy a company for $100 million. But instead of paying $100 million, you pay $20 million of your own money and you borrow $80 million from banks and investors. So the company is now bought with mostly debt. After the purchase, the company itself is responsible for paying back that debt using its profits. So not you. It's not the same as when you finance a house or a car, because cars and houses don't make money. Businesses do. He says it's similar to buying I'm referring to ChatGPT here. It's similar to buying a rental property with a mortgage. You put a small down payment and the bank lends you the rest. The rent, the company's profit, pays back the loan. The debt is liability. I would say it's not profit, it's earnings. And yes, if you want to finance something that produces money. Don't finance your home. This is a hot take. People rent houses, the people rent their home in which they live. Other people buy their own home outright to have them, but they can't afford the price of a home, and so they finance it, and then maybe they get a second mortgage or whatever. I would advise against getting finance for something that does not produce money, because when you buy money from the future to the present, it becomes more expensive as time goes by, because you don't really know what's going to happen to the interest rate or the currency or yourself. Whatever. This is a completely different tangent. Anyway, why do people do LBOs? And Alex Hormozi as well. Some of the company, because if the company grows or becomes more efficient, the buyer can make a huge return on their small original investment. Remember, they were paying only $20 million of their own money for a $100 million company. A leveraged buyout is buying a company, mostly with borrowed money, and letting the company's future profits repay that debt. I wonder how leveraged acquisition.com is. I'm sure it is. He's talking about credit cards with beginner business people. Whatever. Okay. That was the framing behind extra cash guaranteed to come in month after month. That's how I like to do it. Moving on. This I liked. So it was about applying store credit. When customers win their money back, we'll get to how they want their money back later. When customers win their money back, you offer to apply it over a longer period of time or bulk package. You should avoid giving them 3 months upfront. So this is, if you give someone store credit, like don't give the whole big thing at once. Ideally, you want to give it as in smaller and smaller pieces. The piece must be as small as possible, because it incentivizes the person to spend money with you because they already know they have store credit. So that actually means they would rather buy from you because they have a discount, you know what I mean? And spreading it over a period of 12 months means, again, recurring revenue. And here I would like to address the issue of cash collected versus revenue. Oh, nope. So in cash collected is as much money as your client is going to give you at a given time, like in a month. But the client can finance your services, and they can finance it from you. Like, I don't know, my high ticket is $6,000, but if you don't want to pay $6,000 and my program is 60 days, then I can offer you financing and you give me $4,000 at the beginning of each month. So you actually give me $8,000. And I don't know, if I would finance that over the course of a year, you understand, it's $500 a month or something, which is great, again, for the balance sheet. And cash collected would mean, for that scenario in which I got 4 payments of $4,000, cash collected is $4,000 and revenue is $8,000. In a healthy business, it's good to have both. And my business mentor said that it's cool to have 60% cash collected and 40% revenue. I think that's a little dangerous, because people either can't pay or won't pay, might not pay. And what is the enforcement that you have? You have none. When I used to have a fabrication business, I would ask for 50% up front and 50% at the delivery of the project, most of the time. And I would make sure that the first installment would cover all my costs, and the second installment was purely profit. And at one point I would get cheeky. I got cheekier, and I put a little bit of profit in the first installment as well, because that's the only way you can run a proper business. My cash collected was 50% of the revenue, but I was okay. The profit margin wasn't, great, but then I would have this revenue that would cover and grow the profit margin. I don't know, let's move on. This video isn't very good, but it's okay. This is a scenario from the book in which a gamification offer is win your money back. And to win their money back, the person has 3 options. They get results, they take actions, or both. And to make this work, you have to make the results and actions simple to track. So for results, no matter what they do, if the customer gets the result, they win their money back. For example, making a certain amount a month, getting a certain amount of customers, losing some 30 pounds. They bet on their own ability to reach their goal. And for actions, you hold them accountable for doing actions instead of getting results. No matter what the results they get, if the customer does what you ask, they win their money back. For example, attend all sessions, calls, meetings, log progress, take pictures, do assigned homework, etc. I would like to point out, some of them are, really difficult to achieve. Attend daily training. Maybe I can't show up every day. Maybe the internet's not working, or my dog has diarrhea or something. I don't know. I lost the bet, no? So here he teaches you how to short your customers. And if you don't know what that is, Shorting is a financial position in which you sell an asset you do not currently own, typically by borrowing it, because you anticipate that its market value will decline. Later, you repurchase the asset at the ideally lower future price to return it to the lender, capturing the difference as profit. I don't want to give this example, but you get the point. I will give a better example. I will give Michael Burry, a hedge fund manager. Notice something that no one else saw. People with very low incomes were being approved for huge mortgages, and many of those loans had teaser rates that would later reset to much higher payments. He realized these mortgages will start defaulting, and the whole housing market is priced as if that's impossible. So he found a way to bet against or short the mortgage market. How he shorted it? He convinced big banks to create a special kind of insurance contract called a credit default swap. This allowed him to bet that mortgage bonds will fail. He paid premiums like an insurance policy. If the mortgages collapsed, the banks would owe him enormous payouts. And in 2007-2008, what do you know? The mortgages did collapse. The securities tied to them became worthless, and the banks had to pay Burry hundreds of millions of dollars. And his fund made over $700 million, and Burry personally made around $100 million because he was shorting borrowed money. Well, he was managing a hedge fund. Anyway, he predicted the global financial crisis, but that's not important. The trade was extremely complex because of all of the financial instruments around this crash. And it's the story of the movie The Big Short. But I would like to make a parallel here. When you offer a customer win your money back if you attend all sessions every day and do everything every day, or lose the pounds, it's like you're borrowing money from your customer, but instead of what Michael Burry did, in which he kept the profit, you keep all his money. So yeah, he teaches you how to short customers, but like in a really sadistic way, if I may. I would never do that. I think it's unethical, and these are for very emotionally charged transformations, I think. I could never do that to my customers. So I help business owners make their businesses sellable. And what happens if they don't sell? Like, who's being shorted then? Am I being shorted because I didn't sell the business? I don't offer to sell the business. I don't sell the business per se. I make it sellable. It's like if you have a closer and you give him some money and you take the money away if he doesn't close. But these people are your customers. I don't like this chapter at all. Let's go forward. The last point of offer gamification is this: make everyone a winner, even the losers. I will quote directly. Promote and sell the program as though they will only get it back if they meet the criteria, but halfway through, make your next offer as if they already won. It's given Squid Game. You lower the customer's anxiety about failing, and you'll keep them longer. They'll also love you that much more. Something like, I know you're trying to hit this short-term goal, but what's your long-term goal? Okay, that's great to hear. It even gives you the scripts. You get that it's not about this program, but about your long-term results. Tell you what. To show you how much I want you to hit the long-term goal, I'll credit this program towards the next one, whether you hit the short-term goal or not. How's that sound? This how's that sound is from Chris Voss, Never Splits a Difference. Anyway. At the end of the program, let the losers win. If someone refuses your first upsell and fails the challenge, so these are the ultimate losers, biggest losers, you can still upsell them again. Here's how. Act like they won. I say something like, don't worry about it. You started. That's the biggest victory of all. And even though you didn't hit your short-term goal, you met ours, which was finishing what you started. To show you that we're in this for the long haul, we'll credit your entire deposit towards staying with us long term. No. That way you get your money back and we can still hit your goal. How does that sound? You'll turn that frown upside down and they'll love you for it. Remember, we don't get customers to make a sale. We make sales to get customers. Yes, that's true. I agree with that. That's a very good framing. But it's giving gambling addict. Tell you what, try again. Try again free of charge. We'll credit your entire deposit towards staying with us long term. How generous. Okay, so this video has been very long and I've been on many tangents, but I would like to wrap this up and say what I think of. This is the first chapter. I might continue to read out of this disgusting book, but yes, I think Hormozi may have lost the plot regarding writing books that help people. I think that's inevitable at that level of entrepreneurship. I think the world record may or may not have been falsified by the companies in his private equity fund, buying out all the books, because they can do that. What's the biggest danger that I notice? I don't remember if I said this at the beginning of the video because it was a long time ago. What's marketing, messaging, and copywriting in 2025, Q3, I feel have went down the drain. There's no offer that convinces me anymore. There's no resonance. There's only urgency and how stupid I would be to refuse offers. I'm not being offered any value. I'm being offered, being humiliated not to take the deal. And I think this book, because he is so influential and the book launch was such a big thing, I think marketers that were actually doing a good job before then read this book and now started doing a way worse job just because of the authority that Hormozi has. And I really hope I'm not the only one that noticed the poor quality of writing, first of all, and the dangerous advice that he gives. Don't treat your customers like they are some gamblers in the casino you own and you are the dealer. They call him a dealer in a casino the same way they call him a dealer for drugs. Don't over-leverage yourself for some cash. Prove the validity of your offer first before buying ads with your credit card in the hopes that you would acquire a customer in the first 30 days. Because it's same like regular money, like he said. You can follow me on my Instagram because I have a lead magnet referring to how to properly create value with your business that you have, but this is only for more mature businesses. If you want to exit your business, there's a link below for that as well. And that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.